unpopular opinion, you don't need a big wedding. Some people might agree with this. Some people might disagree with this. We are just sharing our insights.
A lot of women dream with a big wedding, princess dress, and the bridesmaids and all these things. But personally, all those things sound so stressful for me. I never really, I once tried to have a Pinterest board and just like trying to find a color palette and things like that. I was like, nah, I can't even. So yeah, I think it goes like with the personality and also the couple and how they see things together, because you're doing it together.
Yeah.
But as a man, what do you think about like big weddings, pros and cons?
It just depends on what you want. Most men, they're chill about it. Some people, they don't mind spending 20, 40, 50, 100K on it. It just depends where you're at financially. If you have it and you can spend it and your wife wants it or your partner at the time wants it, why not? Go ahead. I just never cared about having a big wedding with a bunch of people to celebrate so much. It wasn't ever intriguing to me because I feel like it's a sacred moment, and spending this much money on one single day when we're going to live our lifetime together, I'd rather spend the money on traveling, right? Have a small wedding and then use the money to spend on traveling. Also, you get to save a lot of money. So it's up to you what you want and what your bank account looks like.
As a woman, I can have feelings and emotions and all that, but I'm also very logical and practical.
Thank God.
Yeah. Like, I like to see things, okay, how is this actually beneficial? What are the pros and cons of doing this?
Yeah.
Is it to please others or is it to please us? If you genuinely want that, then sure, go for it. If it's going to put you in a financial stress or it's going to be super stressful, like bringing up families together, a lot of times people have to fly. There is just so much. If you have a business, if you're trying to build something greater, sometimes your mind doesn't have the capacity to also handle that kind of stuff. And if it's not a priority for you, then I would say you don't have to worry about that. As a Christian couple, there are certain things that we can't do as we wanted to if we're not married. Like moving in together, that's not an option. When you live with a person, you get to know them so much more. You get to build with more intention. So it's just like, what do you believe and where your heart is at?
And I know some guys, the wife might want a big wedding and they don't want that, but they give them what they want. I think if your wife truly loves you, you guys should be on the same page. Maybe if you're a little bit tighter financially, you want to be smarter with your money, you got to talk to her. Hey, I know you want that, but this is what I think we should put the money towards. And if she doesn't agree, I mean, I don't know if I'd marry that person if you're trying to be smarter with the money, but they're not. You guys are not on the same page. You might not be equally yoked. That's up for you two to decide. The reasons why we did it, we're business people. It made more sense to have a small wedding. It made more sense to not spend a lot of money on it because we already had so many things that we were focusing on and trying to get family and all these other people, hearing about people's feelings and all this stuff. Because someone's going to be hurt. People are going to complain about it. Oh, this wasn't that. This wasn't that. Like the wedding was for them in the first place. It's between
I
me.
didn't know that the wedding was for the people, for the crowd, for Instagram, for the pictures.
Yeah. It's between me, her, and God. Like, and as long as you guys are at peace with it, then that's the most important thing. You're at peace with each other and you're at peace with God.
The world is so used to seeing like couples have a baby first or move in first, and then years after they're engaged, beautiful, and then 10 years after living together and having 3 kids and a whole family, then they get married. What's the difference between you when you were married and when you were not married, just being a couple? So I don't know why it's such a big deal when a couple decides to.
What do you mean? What do you mean? So what's the difference between when you were married and when you were not?
Like the couple, they're together, living together, have kids and everything, but now you decide to get married. Like now you have what, a ring and a paper that says that you're married. Like
doesn't change anything.
But then the world sees that as normal. So many couples go through that. But when a couple, decide to not do a big wedding and not do all this big celebration and pictures and all that, it's like, why are they doing it like that? Oh, that's like weird. Like, no, you just did the first thing first. You got married and then you deal with the rest.
We just did it between me, her, and an officiant. Nobody was really there. It was just me and her, and that was really it. We kept it just like that, and we felt at peace with it. Others didn't like it. People might feel some type of way if you go ahead and decide to have a small wedding. Families might not be too happy with it. Friends might feel left out, and all these things. But then again, it goes back to asking yourself, am I doing it for them, or am I doing it for us?
If it was a secret or just trying to be rebel or something, then we wouldn't be sharing it. God has called us to something different, and the first thing was to worry about something bigger than planning a big wedding.
Yeah.
That's it. I personally don't care about that. He doesn't care about that. Financially, we prefer to invest in other things than a big celebration and beautiful pictures. So that's pretty much it.
People are going to talk. You can't listen to them, because once you start inviting so many voices into the decision you want to make, they're either going to bring doubt, discourage you, make you feel like what you're doing is so bad, is disrespectful to them. So you got to be careful who you're even talking to about it. Maybe you might need to keep it between you and your partner. Maybe you might need to tell a select few of people. That's up to you guys to decide. You should know who you're talking to, and you should take the advice with a grain of salt. They might say, don't do it and do that, but hey, look at their life. Is that what you want? No, maybe you don't want that, and you have to do something different. And for us, we wanted to build something different. So we're not going to do the same things the people around us did, because we knew to do something different, you have to do something different.
Yeah. If you want to just be like everybody else, then do the same things as everybody else, and you will probably have the same results. But I look at the most people around me, and I don't love the results. I'm not saying anybody specifically, but just in general. So I look at the people that have what I want, what we want, what have they done, what have they done different to the normal, and then just taking similar steps to those, but according to what God has called us to do and aligned with our values as well.
I think it's even been so good for us the way we did it. There was a storm.
Oh yeah.
It didn't last. There was a storm. People around us weren't so happy with that, but that's fine. We were at peace with it. I would have done it the exact same way looking back. Where we're at now, how we've grown together, and the situation that we've been through, it actually made us stronger and trust each other more, love each other more.
You have to go through the valley. You have to go through the storm, but it doesn't last forever. There's always peace. If you know the reason why you're doing the things, then all those opinions of people around you don't really matter as much. It takes a bold personality, being strong, in a way, like, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is why, no matter what, because I know that God has called. In the Bible, God didn't move in easy ways. In the Bible, God called Noah to build the ark when there was not even rain, and people were calling him crazy. When God called people nowadays to do things crazy, quote unquote, then people are going to comment and people are going to talk about it. It doesn't mean that it's not from God. It just means that it's between you and God, and that's why the rest can't understand it.
Exodus says, honor your father and mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord God is giving you. So even throughout the process, you still have to make sure you're honoring your parents. Honoring doesn't mean doing exactly as they say. Honoring, I believe it's listening to them, sharing, being open. At the end of the day, it is your life. You have your own relationship with God. He might be calling you to do something different than what your parents want you to do. So who are you going to listen to? Your parents or the King of Kings? And they may not be happy with it. It may hurt, but if you truly believe this is what God has called you to do, and you're praying about it, you have peace with it, then you have to take that step, because it still might be fearful. It still might be like, whoa, I don't know. But God does radical things.
Parents are parents, family's family. They'll always see you as their baby, and they'll take things personal and wrap things around feelings. But when it's God's calling, it's not about feelings. It's not about pleasing others. It's about doing what He has called you to do, something greater. It's also an act of faith. Like moving and operating on a different way than everybody around you takes a lot of faith.
It does.
Because you might not even feel 100%. You might not know how's it gonna look after you do the move, that's different, that's where faith comes. You start seeing God's hand, how He builds your patience, your character, love for others, communicating skills, all that through the process.
For me personally, I wasn't like scared. I was just like, I was ready to do it because I knew that she was my wife. Even though I knew people wouldn't be happy, I told my family personally, they weren't too happy about it. That's okay, because when God's calling me to do something, I just go ahead and do it. It was just another step of faith. I had peace with the decision.
It's like operating on God's timing, not people's timing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you should do it, like in 2 years when the stars align and the moon is red or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, no, when God calls you, you move and then He does the rest.
Were you fearful?
Not about you and our decision, because we already knew, like I knew you were my husband and everything we felt called to do together, but about, like a little bit family, parents, because traditions and how people would do things normally, just going out of the norm. I don't feel like I am called to be normal, you can say. So I also knew that it made sense that
Yeah.
God called us to do things that way, because that's the way that we move.
Yeah. Any last few words of encouragement for them?
I would say if a big wedding and having all those nice Instagram pictures, it's what's stopping you from getting married to your partner,
Maybe you shouldn't get married. Maybe you shouldn't.
maybe you should consider again if that is the right partner, if you're equally yoked, but also
Equally joke.
but also you can consider just doing things in a private way and consider the financial side of it, also growing together, moving with faith.
It's your life. If God's called you to do something, go ahead and take that step of faith, but honor your parents. And that's really all we have to say. We encourage you to make the best decision that you feel at peace with it. Hope this video was helpful to anyone who's on the fence, or maybe they had some fears or whatever. Just trust God and trust yourself and trust your partner, and then you guys do what's best for you.
Yeah, since there's so many people that I've seen getting engaged, getting married, and all that, it just felt like good to share our story and our insight on marriage and wedding.
Yeah, if you like this video, comment below, share with somebody that might need to see it, subscribe to the channel, and we love you guys. Peace.